Hey, this is Diana, the Midnight Rose. It is Sunday, and I am going to start doing astrology for the week. I forgot to even clean up a little bit. I barely rolled out of bed, but it's like, let's do this because I got my writing group later today and some work. So, the big things this week: Mercury is coming out of retrograde, Venus is coming out of retrograde. Woo! Happy birthday to me. You got to grasp whatever you can at a certain age because birthdays just aren't fun anymore. So mine is Tuesday, April 8th, which actually was the same last year. The big solar eclipse was on my birthday. Well, that was an interesting birthday present. But let's talk about Mercury retrograde. How it coming out of retrograde is is a very good thing. So all um, that fog, that confusion, the miscommunication, that's, well, not all of it, but things are going to become clear again. They're going to get clear. And if you were sort of rethinking a certain project, maybe, and you weren't sure how to proceed, now you are. Now you are. Everything's coming back to you. Everything's coming back into focus and becoming clear again. So that's when Mercury returns to stationing direct. You'll get that clarity back. Your mental clarity will come back. Thank goodness. I know I've been feeling it. I can hardly talk, literally. Although some interesting things did occur with Mercury, with the whole Cory Booker thing, speaking for 25 hours straight. Very interesting during a Mercury retrograde and anytime. But instead of feeling like you're going backwards, looking within, you're going to be moving forward. Things are going to start going forward again. It could also be not just communication, but things like travel plans. Technology is moving forward. The glitches, any revisions that you're making are complete. The reviewing part is over. The action part is coming up, and especially in Aries, especially with Neptune going into Aries and other planets. That should also be a separate video because we've got some stuff with Saturn and Neptune going on. And we do also a little later in the month have, you know, we've had a lot of difficult transits, and this is kind of clearing up with having Mercury going direct, with having Venus going direct. But there's still some shit to come, particularly at the end of the month. We have Pluto in an opposition with Mars, and this is very serious. And we're going to get to that because when Pluto goes into an opposition of Mars, there tends to be, well, there's just no nice way to say it. There tends to be violence happening, mindless violence. So we're going to go into that in another video. But for this week, we're talking about Mercury. We're talking about Venus finally going direct. It's kind of like, think of it like when your GPS is your calculating and it's spinning. Now it's reset. Let's get moving again, continue on our journey. And it's like, oh, okay, that's where I'm going. That is Mercury coming out of retrograde. So, but timing still matters. Um, there's still a few days after Mercury goes direct on the 7th, by the way. That's tomorrow, as of this recording. There's still what we call the shadow period. And it's like you're like me, kind of like, okay, I'm awake. Oh, let's make a video. That shadow period. And that applies to Venus as well. But speaking of Venus, the goddess of love and beauty and art and indulgences. I always picture her on a lazy couch, like eating bonbons or grapes, and she's kind of lazy, but but kind of charming too. You kind of don't care that she's lazy. But so relationships are going to be the big one for a lot of people with Venus. The dynamics are going to shift if you've been kind of rethinking with a partnership or evaluating how it's working, how you're giving, how you're receiving love. You will probably get some clarity and reach a decision or feel a lot better emotionally, a lot clearer. Your desires can stabilize. You know who or what you want, and you're willing to let go of it or truly commit to it. So you're feeling creative again, artistic energy, because Venus loves the art. She loves art and dance and music and all those artsy fartsy things. So your artistic energy can return after feeling blocked, or maybe you needed a period of refinement of how you approach things. And financial matters, because, well, I'm resistant to this whole Venus and is the second house. That's no. But she does rule over material things. One of the things that in classes is like, they want us to stop thinking of, Aries is with the first house, Venus is with the second house, Gemini is with the third house. Yes, there are some correlations, but not completely. And getting out of that mindset. Because the third house, for instance, you think Gemini, communication, Mercury, but it's the third house there is some communication to it, but it's also about your neighborhood, your siblings. So we're trying to get out of that mindset of more modern and common, incorrect astrology. So, but think of this time as like, it's like the heart and is waking up after being in a long night of dreaming, the dark night of the soul. We've said that before. Venus has been underground. She's been going through that. And she's kind of waking up from more of a nightmare and reconciling all those things that she was examining during that dark time and remembering what's really important, what really matters to her, and getting clarity. So when we have these two big signs coming within days of each other, Venus is going direct again on the 12th. I think in another video I'd said the 15th, but that's incorrect. It's the 12th. So when it's happening so close together, you're getting a double dose of clarity. The heart, Venus, and the mind, Mercury. So you might really see a turning point in your relationships, especially if there's been a lot of miscommunication or doubts that have come up during the retrograde, which is almost certainly have. But when the doubts come up, they cause you to reflect and reevaluate things, and that can be a good thing, especially once it goes back direct. It's like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Is this really important? What? It's like an epiphany. Now suddenly the fog clears. You get it. And so it's a good time to really move forward, especially in matters of the head and the heart, with intention. Move forward with intention. Whether, it's like having that conversation, making that decision, starting a new chapter in those matters. So this is a big week astrologically for everybody. And especially if you have a prominent Venus or Mercury in your chart, which I do have a prominent Venus. I have Venus exalted in Pisces natally, but I also have Mercury in its fall in Pisces. So there's that. But so that's the things you should be looking for this week of 4/6 to whatever the end of the week is. So I'm already planning to get my I've got my keto cake mix. I'm getting my keto icing so I don't be too bad on my birthday. And as I always write on my cake now, because birthdays are a little different now. I always write on my cake, instead of happy birthday, you're not dead yet. And if there was room, I would write in parentheses, so stop acting like it. But that's kind of what Venus and Mercury are saying now that they've woken up from their foggy slumber, their weird dreams. So look forward. Enjoy Mercury and Venus moving back direct this week, is what I'm trying to say. And we'll get into that Pluto opposition and some other things. So I'm starting to establish the habits here. So like and subscribe. Consider it a birthday present. Wish me happy birthday. Make a comment whether this resonates with you, how it resonates with you, how you've been feeling with Mercury and Venus retrograde together. And it's coming out, coming out of it. So, all right, that's it for today for this video. I will catch you in the next video. So, have a good week. Bye-bye. If I can find the stop recording button. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? Okay, there we go. Bye-bye.